They say some people are forgotten even while still alive. But in Lagos, a one woman's kindness was about to awaken a man no one believed would ever live again. Amara's hands trembled as she checked the monitors in room 207. 6 months. 6 months this man had lain here, nameless, abandoned. The hospital staff whispered he was already dead, his body just hadn't realized it yet. "Good morning," she said softly, wiping his face with a warm cloth. "They want to move you to the basement ward today. The place where they put patients families have given up on." She leaned closer, her voice dropping to a whisper. "But I won't let them." "Not yet." The machines beeped their steady rhythm. Outside, a Lagos traffic road. Inside, only silence. "My daughter asked about you yesterday," Amara continued, checking his phone. She said, "Mama, why do you care for the sleeping man when his own family doesn't come?" I told her everyone deserves someone who cares." As she lifted his hand to check his pulse, his fingers twitched. Amara gasped, nearly dropping his hand. She stared, a breath caught in her throat. Nothing. Just stillness. "I'm losing my mind," she muttered, shaking her head. Too many double shifts. But as she turned to leave, she could have sworn she felt his eyes on her back. What if he was listening all along? In the darkness of his mind, Chike Okofor remembered. He remembered being called the Shark. He remembered his corner office 40 floors above Lagos, where he destroyed competitors over morning coffee. He remembered the fear in people's eyes when he entered boardrooms. He remembered power, wealth, control. And he remembered the night it all ended. "You're going to sign over those shares, Chike." His stepmother's voice, cold as steel. "Or you'll regret it." "I built this company," he'd shot back. "You think I'll hand it to your incompetent sons? You'll do what's best for this family." "This isn't a family. It's a nest of vultures waiting for the old man to die." The memory dissolved. Then came the car. The highway. The moment his brakes failed and he realized this wasn't an accident. Someone wanted him dead. Now, trapped in his own body, Chike could hear everything. The beeping machines. The doctor saying he'd never wake. His stepmother's visits, whispering poison in his father's ear about pulling the plug. But there was one voice that cut through the darkness. Soft. Kind. Real. The nurse. Amara. She talked to him about her daughter's schoolwork. Her mother's medicine. The price of rice at the market. Small, ordinary things that somehow anchored him to life. He tried to move, to speak, to show her he was still here. But his body was a prison. All he could manage was the slightest twitch of a finger. "Please," he thought desperately. "Please see me." Amara couldn't sleep. The image of that twitching finger haunted her. The next morning, she rushed to room 207 an hour early. The patient lay exactly as she'd left him, still, silent, seemingly lifeless. "I know you're in there," she whispered, taking his hand. "If you can hear me, please, try again. Move your finger. Anything." Nothing. She waited. 1 minute. 2. 5. Just as she was about to give up, his index finger pressed against her palm. Deliberately. Unmistakably. Amara's eyes flooded with tears. "You're awake. Oh God, you're awake." She ran to get Dr. Okonkwo, her heart racing. But when the doctor examined the patient, everything appeared unchanged. "Amara, I understand you want to believe." He moved. "I felt it. Muscle spasms are common. You're tired. Go home, get some rest." But Amara knew what she'd felt. That night, she returned during her break, sneaking into his room. "I know they don't believe me," she said, squeezing his hand. "But I believe in you. Fight. Come back." This time, his finger didn't just twitch. It curled around hers. Weak, but intentional. A tear rolled down her cheek. "I won't give up on you. I promise." What she didn't see was the shadow in the doorway. Someone watching. Someone who'd been hoping he'd never wake. Madame Ifeoma stood in the hospital corridor, her designer heels clicking against the floor. She'd come to check on her beloved stepson, and to ensure he remained silent. 6 months of carefully crafted sympathy. 6 months of convincing Chief Okofor that Chike's condition was hopeless. 6 months of slowly taking control of Okofor Enterprises. She'd been so close. Just a few more weeks and the board would have voted to permanently transfer power. The company would belong to Victor. The fortune would be theirs. And then this nurse started noticing things. Ifeoma watched through the window as Amara held Chike's hand, talking softly. The way his fingers moved, barely, but definitely moved. Her blood ran cold. He was waking up. She pulled out her phone, dialing quickly. "We have a problem. The nurse is getting too close. Handle it." That night, Amara received the first call. "Stop caring for the patient in 207. The voice was distorted, threatening. "Or your daughter will pay the price." Amara's hands shook so badly she dropped the phone. Chioma. They knew about Chioma. She wanted to run. To quit. To protect her baby. But when she looked at the man in the bed, helpless, trapped, fighting to live, she couldn't abandon him. "I'm scared," she whispered to him during her next shift. "But I think someone's trying to hurt you. And I think you know who." His hand gripped hers with sudden strength. His eyes moved rapidly beneath closed lids. "Tell me," she urged. "Who did this to you?" His lips parted. After 6 months of silence, Chike Okofor whispered his first word. "Stepmother." Amara's scream brought 3 nurses running. He spoke. "He's awake." This time, Dr. Okonkwo couldn't deny it. Chike's eyes fluttered open, confused, weak, but conscious. "Water," he rasped. Within hours, the hospital buzzed with news. The mysterious John Doe was waking up. But more shocking, when his fingerprints were finally run through the system, his identity exploded like a bomb. Chike Okofor. The Chike Okofor. Billionaire CEO. Missing for 6 months. Presumed dead by many. The media descended like locusts. But Amara's concern wasn't the cameras, it was the danger she now understood. "Your stepmother," she said quietly when they were finally alone. "She tried to kill you, didn't she?" Chike's memories were returning in fragments, but the truth was crystallizing. The argument about the company. His investigation into missing funds. His discovery that Ifeoma and Victor had been embezzling millions. The car he managed. Brakes cut. "We need to tell the police." "No." His hand caught her wrist with surprising strength. "Evidence first. She'll disappear it." Over the next 3 days, as Chike's strength returned, Amara became his secret ally. She smuggled in his phone. Made calls on his behalf to his lawyer. Helped him piece together what happened. But Ifeoma was making her own moves. "My poor stepson," she sobbed to Chief Okofor, her performance Emmy-worthy. "He's confused, delusional from the coma. Accusing me of terrible things. The trauma has damaged his mind." Victor stood behind her, smirking. Maybe it's best if he stays hospitalized. For his own safety. Permanently. Chief Okafor, old and tired, wavered. Perhaps professional care. No, Chike's voice rang out from the doorway. He stood there, leaning heavily on Amara, but standing. The room fell silent. I remember everything, Father. The embezzlement. The threats. The cut break lines. His eyes fixed on Ifeoma. Did you really think I wouldn't survive? Ifeoma's mask slipped for just a second, pure hatred flashing across her face before the concerned act returned. Check, darling, you're not well. I have the bank records. The emails. The mechanic you paid to sabotage my car. He pulled out his phone. And I have this. He pressed play. Victor's voice filled the room. Make sure he doesn't survive the crash. We can't risk him exposing us. The color drained from Ifeoma's face. It's over, Check said simply. The arrest happened swiftly. Police flooded the Okafor mansion. Ifeoma screamed her innocence even as they handcuffed her. Victor tried to run and was tackled in the garden. The evidence was overwhelming: years of embezzlement, fraud, and finally, attempted murder. In the aftermath, as journalists swarmed and lawyers argued, Check sat in his hospital room with the one person who'd saved him. Why, he asked Amara. Why risk everything for a stranger? She smiled, that same gentle smile she'd given him every day for 6 months. Because everyone deserves someone who cares. Even sharks. He laughed, actually laughed, for the first time in years. I was a shark, wasn't I? You were. But maybe that man died in the crash. She squeezed his hand. Maybe this is your chance to be someone new. 3 months later, Chike stood at the grand opening of the Amara Okafor Medical Center, a state-of-the-art facility in Mushin providing free healthcare to those who couldn't afford it. Amara stood beside him, no longer in worn nursing shoes but as the facility's director. Chioma played nearby, and Mama Nkechi sat in the front row, tears streaming down her face. You named it after me, Amara whispered. You gave me back my life. It's the least I could do. He turned to her, his eyes holding a question. Actually, there's something else I'd like to give you. He knelt, and the crowd gasped. Amara, you saw me when I was invisible. You cared when no one else would. You risked everything for nothing in return. He opened a small box. Let me spend the rest of my life proving that kindness isn't weakness, it's the strongest thing in the world. Will you marry me? Through tears, she nodded. As Lego sunset painted the sky gold, Chike pulled her close. Around them, hundreds of people cheered, rich and poor, powerful and powerless, all united in witnessing something rare. A second chance. True love. The triumph of goodness over greed. In a city where power often overshadows kindness, it was a single act of care that changed a man's life. Amara had expected nothing, no reward, no recognition, no fairy tale ending. But sometimes the greatest fortunes aren't found in bank accounts or boardrooms. They are found in the human heart. 1 year later, Chike and Amara walked hand in hand through the medical center, Chioma skipping between them. Former patients greeted them warmly. New mothers brought their babies to show the couple who'd made their care possible. The man who'd once been called the shark was now known as the guardian, using his billions not to destroy but to build. And beside him walked the woman who taught him that true strength lies in compassion. Chief Okafor, visiting from his retirement home, watched them with tears in his eyes. My son, he whispered. I lost him for 35 years. And a poor nurse gave him back to me. As evening fell over Lagos, Amara rested her head on Chike's shoulder. Do you ever miss it? She asked. The old life. The power. He looked at Chioma laughing with the other children, at the clinic saving lives, at the woman who'd saved his soul. I miss nothing, he said simply. I have everything. And in that moment, both of them understood the oldest truth in the world, a truth worth more than all the money in Lagos. Love doesn't seek. It serves. And in serving, it conquers all.